Is it just me, or do most car commercials today make no sense? You'll see a vehicle driving through the Sahara Desert, blazing through dunes as if your daily commute involves camel caravans and shifting sand. Or if it's a sporty model, it'll be zipping around a cityscape at night, picking up 4 or 5 friends who all somehow fit comfortably in the back. Rarely do they mention horsepower, engine updates, or new safety features. At most, they'll flash something like "now with lane assist" for a split second. So why the lack of technical details? Modern car marketing often leans on lifestyle promotion. Instead of just telling us what the car can do, ads focus on how we might feel driving it. Companies want to lure us in with a vision of excitement, freedom, and let's face it, some good old-fashioned vanity. But have they gone too far with these over-the-top stunts and vague messaging? Are they telling us, "Don't worry about the specs, just buy it, you dummy"? The reality is that as competition grows fiercer, many manufacturers believe they have to keep things flashy to catch our attention. Let's rewind to a simpler time, the late 1800s, specifically 1898. This is when the first automobile advertisement appeared in an Ohio newspaper for the Winton motor carriage. Its headline was pretty direct: "Dispense with a horse." It called out the car's affordability, touted its top speed of 20 miles per hour, and stressed it didn't smell like a barn. It might sound laughably quaint today, but back then, the biggest competitor to a car was an actual horse. This ad had a clear, logical approach. Compare the product to what people already knew, by underlining speed, cost, and even odor. It convinced readers that the newfangled horseless carriage was a practical and cleaner alternative. As printing technology advanced, newspapers and magazines began featuring more and more car ads. Henry Ford himself famously stated in 1912 that Ford's advertising would remain straightforward, resisting any gimmicky or clever strategies. Moving into the 1920s and 1930s, car ads became bolder and more visually striking. Art Deco illustrations adorned magazines, embracing the glitz and glamour of the Roaring Twenties. Ford, despite Henry Ford's personal preference for simplicity, created vibrant colors and stylish designs in their ads. Then came the Great Depression. Car ads from the 1930s often reflected the sober mood of the time. Often manufacturers still wanted to evoke a sense of elegance and adventure, showing that even in tough economic times, owning a car offered freedom and prestige. After World War II, society was ready for something new, something bright and futuristic. Car advertisements exploded with images of space-age designs and bold, sweeping lines. Now that the war was over, cars were once again a symbol of prosperity and success. Still a luxury for many, the rising competition among manufacturers meant they had to stand out. They bragged about their role in the war effort, linking their engineering prowess in building tanks and planes to making reliable civilian vehicles. This was the first major push toward forward-looking ads, featuring fantastic concept cars and promises of a utopian driving experience, often with tail fins and gleaming chrome. By the 1950s, car ads were as flashy as the cars they promoted. Tail fins, bright colors, and over-the-top designs were all part of the package. But in 1959, Volkswagen stepped in with a campaign that changed everything. Their iconic Beetle ad with the tagline, "Think Small," was like a bombshell in the advertising world. At a time when bigger is better dominated American car culture, Volkswagen went in the opposite direction, promoting simplicity and practicality. They turned what some perceived as a disadvantage, the Beetle's smaller size, into a major selling point. Fast forward to the 1980s, and car culture was all about status, style, speed. Think big hair, synced music, and boxy supercars like the Lamborghini Countach or the Ferrari Testarossa. Print advertisements were bright, bold, and in your face. Television ads ramped up too, showcasing new models tearing across highways under neon lights, emphasizing speed, power, and luxury. This was the decade where the car truly cemented itself as not just a vehicle, but a status symbol for success. Whether it was a Mercedes-Benz representing understated luxury, or a roaring Corvette symbolizing raw American muscle, each brand aimed to capture a specific audience through the style, flash, and bold visuals. By the 1990s, car makers realized that technology was the new battleground. Ads began focusing on innovations like ABS brakes, improved fuel injection systems, and even early forms of electronic stability control. Safety and tech were becoming major talking points due to stricter regulations. and marketers responded by touting these advantages on screen and in print. A standout example from this era was Honda's marketing for its VTEC engine system, highlighting the engine's distinct wail at high RPMs, a move that thrilled car enthusiasts who appreciated performance. Brands like Range Rover also leaned into new features, running ads for their advanced four-wheel drive systems and anti-lock brakes. We saw entire campaigns that used real-world scenarios, like driving in a downpour or a blizzard, to demonstrate how these technological enhancements could keep you safe. So, where does this leave us today? People are flooded with marketing everywhere, on their phones, laptops, TV screens, and billboards. It's harder than ever to stand out or be memorable, and to some viewers, it all starts to blur together. How many times can you show a car climbing a mountaintop before it gets old? Today's car buyer has also become more knowledgeable. They can easily research technical specs, safety ratings, and user reviews online, so ironically, the more relevant info a manufacturer might need to convey, the less it appears in the actual ads. Car companies want to sell as many vehicles as possible, and to do that, they have to walk a tightrope between showcasing what's new and exciting while avoiding any mention of drawbacks. Ads are often more about aspiration and lifestyle than actual performance, because that's what captures hearts and wallets. But as consumers, we also have the power to demand more. We can seek out detailed reviews, watch test drives, and compare specs ourselves. With the internet at our fingertips, the old smoke and mirrors approach might be less effective. Modern marketing in its best form should be both creative and honest. Car advertising has evolved in lockstep with changes in technology, culture, and consumer preferences. Sure, the approach may sometimes feel shallow or repetitive, but every so often, a campaign comes along that disrupts the norm, just like Volkswagen did in 1959.